Hey 6th graders, Mrs. Simonson here. Tonight we're going to be working with division. Now last year you learned a method called partial quotients. This year we're wanting to move towards traditional division. And tonight's method, column division, is a step in that direction. So let's get started. Tonight's objectives is to use vocabulary related to division, use the column division method, and write remainders as fractions. Division is simply grouping or sharing a number into equal parts. There are 4 ways to show division. You can use the division sign, a slash, the division box, or write the division problem as a fraction. The number that we're trying to group or share is called the dividend. In our problem below, our dividend is 45. The number of groups or shares that we're dividing the number into is called the divisor. And in our division problem, 5 is our divisor. The result, or the answer to our division problem, is called the quotient. 45 divided by 5 has a quotient of 9. The column division method relies on place value. In this problem, we have the ones, the tens, the hundreds. When we use column division, we always start in the largest place value, which in this case is the hundreds. We have 100 that we're trying to share among 4 groups. We can't divide or share 100 into 4 equal shares, so we share out 0, which means we don't hand out any and we're left with the one we started with. Now as we shift over to the tens column, I need to exchange my 100 for tens. 100 is the same as 10 tens. I add those to the tens that we already had. In this case, we had 0. 0 plus 10 is 10. Now I want to share my 10 tens among my 4 groups. If I do that, each group will receive 2 tens, for a total of 8 that I shared out. When I subtract that from the 10 I had, I have 2 tens remaining. As I shift over into the ones column, I need to exchange my 2 tens for ones. 2 tens is the same as 20 ones. Add that to the ones we already had, and I have a total of 23 ones to share among 4 groups. When I share out, each group is going to receive 5 ones. 5 ones per 4 teams would result in me sharing 20 ones. When I subtract that from what I had to share, I have 3 remaining. Now I've run out of place values. This means this is our remainder. In 5th grade, you may have written R to represent the word remainder, 3. But now we need to start writing our remainders as fractions, and the process is pretty simple. You take your remainder, in this case is 3, and you write that as a numerator of a fraction. Your divisor becomes the denominator. So 103 divided by 4 is 25 and 3/4. Write this problem into your math notebook. 863 divided by 5. I want you to use the column division method to solve this problem. Press play when you're ready to see the work. Column division can also be used when the divisor is more than a single-digit number. We start and use the same method. We start in the hundreds column. I have 9 hundreds to share among 12 groups. I don't have enough hundreds so that each group would get 100, so I have 0 shares, which means I shared 0, and I'm remaining with the 9 I had started with. As I move into the tens column, I need to exchange my 9 hundreds for tens. 9 hundreds is worth 90 tens. add to the tens I already had, and now I have 99 tens. When I share the 99 tens among 12 groups, each group will receive 8 tens. In total then, I'm handing out 96 of my 99 tens, which means I have 3 remaining. As I shift over to the ones column, I have to exchange my 3 tens for 30 ones. I add to the ones I already had, and now I'm going to share out 36 ones among 12 groups. Each of those 12 groups will receive 3 ones, because 12 times 3 is 36. When I subtract all the ones I shared out, I have no ones remaining. So 996 divided by 12 is 83.
I want you to solve this final problem in your notebook. Mr. Hansen has 298 pieces of candy. He needs to divide the candy among his 28 students. How much candy will each student receive? Set the problem up in your notebook and use column division to find the answer. Press play when you're ready to check your work. Now when you divide 298 by 28, you get 10 and 18 28ths. But if you look at the question, it's asking how much candy will each student receive. And it would be hard to figure out what 18 28ths of a piece of candy is. So the answer would be each student would get 10 pieces.
To review our objectives this evening, you were to use vocabulary related to division, use the column division method, and write remainders as fractions. At this time, you can go back and review any portion of this video, or you could write some division problems on your own and review how to use the column division method. Finally, take the quizzes to show your work tonight. Until next time.